Nothing prepares you for going to knock on somebody's door at 2 o'clock in the morning and changing that family's life forever. Let them know that the loved one's not coming home.
That's one reason Sergeant Michael Nelson is on patrol for drunk drivers. He's one of 8 officers who make up Huntsville's DUI task force.
We want to protect themselves from themselves and protect them from hurting other people if they are impaired.
One of the ways officers do that is with checkpoints.
Do you have a driver's license with you?
I was trying to get to my mom's house.
Okay.
They will ask for your driver's license, proof of insurance, and registration for your vehicle.
We're checking for those 3 things and see if there's any clues of impairment that we are seeing immediately that leads us to pull you off the side of the road and run you through those field sobriety tests.
What else do you need to know if you're stopped at a checkpoint?
Price and Flowers, George Flowers, may I help you?
I took that question to DUI defense attorney George Flowers. He's been practicing law for about 20 years.
A person always has a right to refuse anything that they don't want to do. You are never compelled to do anything.
Alabama is an implied consent state. That means any person who operates a vehicle within the state is deemed to have consented to a blood, breath, or urine test to measure blood alcohol content. However, all field sobriety tests are voluntary. You are not under any legal obligation to submit to any field sobriety tests.
There is no criminal penalties or no civil penalties for refusing the roadside tests.
But Flowers warns.
However, once again, when a person refuses the roadside tests, an officer typically is going to make his judgment call there. And when a person refuses, once again, they're probably going to presume everything against the person at that point.
In most cases, you can refuse a breathalyzer as a passenger. Flowers told me police shouldn't even ask. DUI laws only apply to the driver. If an officer asks to search your car, you can refuse. Police never need your consent and won't ask if they have a legal ground to perform their search. Refusal to allow a search is not probable cause and is not a reason for you to be detained.
We're not trying to infringe anybody's rights. We're not going to unlawfully search somebody's vehicle.
If there is reason to suspect that you are armed and dangerous, the officer can pat you down, in other words, frisk you. Officers must confine the frisk to the suspect's outer clothing. Alabama is an open carry state, but it's illegal in a vehicle without a concealed carry license. Sergeant Nelson told me drivers take extreme measures to cover up their drinking, but a glass of wine at dinner doesn't mean you're driving drunk.
And sometimes people will try to mask the odors that they're emitting, such as popping a piece of gum, doing some Listerine, maybe smoking 2 or 3 cigarettes at one time, just try to get the nicotine and smoke odor in the car to cover alcohol smell or anything else that's going on. Try to divert our attention from something else.
Nelson would rather make an arrest than allow a suspected drunk driver to continue on their way and possibly take a life. He told me throughout his career, he has notified 48 families their loved ones were killed by a drunk driver.
Do you ever look back on those cases and kind of have to remind yourself why you do what you do?
All the time. Everybody in my unit, all the guys that work for me right now, it's a special place for them to be doing the job that they're doing.